topics in sports entertainment.
Right. I got two left hooves who want tests. Well, since nobody's stepping to me, take me to your cult leader. Take me to your local drug dealer. Take me to the man in the mirror when you stand and deliver with your hand on the trigger. An emotional terrorist. I-double-M-U-N-E. Never make my enemy public. I'm a private dancer, dancing for money. Do that thing that's funny.
Dance, monkey. We're going to yeet all over this fucking place today, aren't we? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to post-WrestleMania on Monkey Radio. That's right, the last time is now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming off the heels of a very interesting WrestleMania. I will say that at least. That is your host, Mike Malik, and I am Tony. I just made a funny joke during the intro. I said, I'm going to superimpose Greco's face right over Brandon.
I wasn't going to bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up. We are much older now. I'm a much more humble person. Like Logan Paul, I'm humble.
Yeah. A lot of stuff happened last night. We're gonna break it all down. I guess we'll start with we'll just do it day by day. Greco, you made a good point. Maybe start with the main event and work backwards, or just kind of.
I also have the prediction.
My wife did. She did take out the piece of paper.
I did too.
So she. There was some that I was shocked that I was like, wow, did I really not pick this one? And I didn't. But you know, it is what it is. We'll start with the main event from Saturday. It was a triple threat. I would say, before I get to you guys, that it was the best match from Saturday. But a Grand Americano, really. That guy won me over on Saturday. But we'll start with Greco. Greco, we'll start with the triple threat match. How did you feel? What are your takeaways from at least that? Because that was a monumental moment with Heyman turning. What do you think? And then we'll move over to Malik. Go ahead, Greco.
We all picked it. We all pretty much saw it coming. You know, yes. Bravo to all of us. It's the highlight of Saturday because unfortunately afterwards it's kind of not a full downhill, but it just progressively goes downhill from there.
It's not. Yeah, but WrestleMania wasn't good. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I guess I want to see what the consensus is in this room before we get to.
The match itself was great. The way they did it was awesome. They went around. You know, you let Seth and Punk do all the hard work around the crowd and everything. You saved the big moments with Roman. You got your big Shield moment. You know, Seth really, and it looks. What I like is you really start to think that Roman is listening to Seth again.
Yeah.
You know, and and then he just pops him in the face, and he does listen to him because he does put Punk through the table, but he just also puts Seth through the table.
And can I say those tables are awesome?
Yes.
Those tables are sick. Malik, you had everything. You were ready to go. Yesterday, you would completely dipped out in John Cena gear, ready to be a part of the C Nation. All right. How did you feel about the triple threat match when you saw Heyman turn? What were your thoughts, bud?
Well, I did believe that he was going to turn on Punk at some point. I didn't think he was really going to turn on Roman because the way they've been for as long as they've been, I thought it was to keep going in that direction. I believe I did say that Rollins should win.
You did.
I don't know if I didn't, you know.
As a matter of fact, let me correct you. You didn't say he should win. You said he needs to win because he keeps losing at WrestleMania.
Correct.
Yeah.
I did say that.
Yeah, and he did just that.
And I was like, Reigns needed to catch the L. He needed to be back.
And he did.
Yeah,
very well.
And if you look at Seth at WrestleMania, other than his first solo WrestleMania when he cashed in, he named something else that he's really done at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he hasn't really had a moment like he had last on Saturday night, I guess. Apart from the RKO.
Money in the Bank. And the Money in the Bank.
Since then, that was at 32. That was 10 years, 11 years ago, 31. 10 years ago, 31.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy to think that those guys have been now 10 years going strong. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, WrestleMania 29 was their first one. Pun and I were just talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, and it's crazy because they literally did fill the gap when CM Punk left. He left, right? And those two guys were really the main factor of filling the gap while he was gone.
Yeah.
So just it was a good. I thought it was the match of the night. I'll say that from Saturday. It was the only thing I will say was I don't know if it's I hate to break it down in this kind of level, but like the acting, like it was too predictable. Like you saw Paul Heyman, like he was like, come on. He's just waiting for Roman to kind of lift the chair so he can hit him with the low blow. And then he said, screw it. And he still did it because it was like taking too long and shit. But it was too predictable to me. Like, you saw it coming.
Hand wiggle.
Yeah, this thing. I'm going to give you a little extra.
Yo.
I don't know. I guess it wasn't enough to give him a low blow. He wanted to give him like a little Indian burn.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what that was.
I don't understand. Oh, yeah, Jesus Christ. We'll talk about that. I knew some shit like that was going to happen because they were in Vegas. A lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs being consumed. So something crazy was going to happen. Austin almost killed somebody with his ATV last night.
We'll get into that. Yep.
But they did. But anyway, let's just talk about the rest of the night.
I think it's a work.
You think it's a work? Let's break down the let's break down the rest of the night.
Wait, look.
Were there some? I remember when the Spanish announce table used to get the most dangerous position. That's very true, Tristan. Malik, what were some takeaways from night one apart from the main event? Did you see anything that you liked? Did you see something you're like, all right, I want to see what they're going to do with this. Let's see how far it goes.
I thoroughly enjoyed Rey Fenix up against El Grande Americano. That was a good match. Jacob Fatu and LA Knight is definitely up there as far as good matches, or possibly one of the matches of the weekend.
I agree.
Yeah. You don't think it's too soon to put the U.S. title on Jacob? I didn't think so.
No.
I'm just asking it to put out in the ether.
I think it's hard to just not pay attention to his talents.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's been there since before November, so it's not like he's just got like. If they did it with Rey Fenix, I mean, I'd be like,
this is his second championship now in the company, by the way.
Technically, that is correct.
Yeah, he's a tag team champion, right?
Yes. So
yes.
Yeah. What else? I mean, Grande Americano.
I like the moonsault into the blunt force trauma. I thought that was a nice little.
Okay. Yeah.
A nice little spot. The El Grande thing is amazing. I believe I was the one that said about the mariachi band on the stage.
Oh my God.
Okay, the mariachi band was great. Can we just take a second to just a nod to the headbutt right out of the sky? This guy Rey Fenix does a springboard like plancha, and he just does this. Drops him right out of the sky. I swear, my wife fell asleep while I was having it, right? And he fucking did that shit. I woke her up out of a dead sleep because I was laughing so hard. I was like, yo, he just headbutted this guy right out of the sky. He just went, no. He just fell. I laughed so fucking hard. I was like, this guy is the best. I was like, I love this guy. The mariachi band shit made me laugh out loud.
The Gulf of America, thank you, Pun.
The video package where they were building like it was gonna be about Mysterio and then it was about him.
Yes.
That had me in tears.
The best part is he's speaking like you could see he's saying the actual words, and they still dubbed it.
Very Kai like.
Oh yes! Oh my God! I was like, this is done so well, and how fitting that's done the same day that they buy AAA.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was just, oh my goodness, fantastic. Apart from that, WrestleMania on Saturday felt very forgettable. Mm-hmm. And even my wife's noticed that the crowd didn't seem into it at all. I don't know how you guys picked up on that.
I felt like there was something off about the crowd, especially in moments where I thought they were hot. I was just like, y'all really don't care.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so when the New Day win the tag title, I don't know if something happened with the sound or what, but there's no reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the things she was talking about. Like, what's going on? Like, I felt like, and I said this multiple times. Yeah, pull your mic down if you're gonna say.
Saying that I thought it was the difference between like what hard cam.
Yeah, you thought they
audio
were switching
and
between
then
cameras,
handheld.
but I kept saying the stupid thing that they always say, "Oh, it's a stadium, so the sound goes up." But I go, but it can only make that excuse only goes so far because we've
Yeah.
seen
And there's a
stadium
roof.
shows
There's a
each
roof
year,
on the stadium.
and there's a roof on the stadium. Yeah, so I was just kind of like, I was like, this
No,
this
but
crowd just.
it's not just the sound. It was you could see them. They were
Yeah,
in
and
the
that's
Yeah.
when we picked up on it. We started focusing on the crowd, and you didn't see them freak
They
out.
weren't moving really. Yeah.
You didn't see them freak out. They were just kind of like, what I saw a lot was this. They were
Phones
holding their
up.
cell phones.
Yeah.
So they were just
Yep.
filming a lot. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. They were just,
I guess maybe that's audiences nowadays. They just want to film it. They don't want to. Like,
they don't want to
stay in.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that too. Even when you go to like fucking regular sporting events, it's like that nowadays.
Yeah.
They just fucking got their face buried in their phones.
Yeah.
Was Greco, was there anything else for you that stood out from night one?
I didn't hate the Naomi Jade match.
I enjoyed that match. One of the matches the most out of
Yeah.
Saturday's show, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Which is
I think both of
surprising.
them
Because
came
I don't
off
think
well.
anybody expected. I mean, did you really expect anything from that? So that was probably you just pleasantly surprised with that one.
Naomi carried the match, is how I saw it.
Yep.
Yep. She's. I think she has a chance of becoming bigger now.
I'll
Things
agree.
keep going
I'll-
in this direction.
Sort of agree with what Pun said, where night one crowd was awful, but night two crowd seemed a little bit
this one.
more, a little bit more into it, a little bit more alive.
Yeah.
But
So
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you honestly what I think, and this is just me. I've been to Vegas, so maybe this is what it could be, right? The Vegas crowd start time on Saturday was what, 4:00 is when the event started there.
Yeah, I think
Now,
so.
mind you, most people got there Thursday. They probably partied Thursday. They probably went to GCW and 400 other wrestling promotions Thursday. They went around all day Friday to all the different meet and greets. Friday night was SmackDown. The Hall of Fame that started here at 1 a.m., so started there at 10 and still went on until almost 2 a.m. By the time you get back to your hotel, you're going right back to NXT during the day,
Yeah.
just for
Yeah.
3 hours later to start Mania. So I think people were exhausted by the time you got to the first night of WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot. Man.
I'm like, if let's say people did get tickets to go to that show, that would be like at least a third of what they had in the stadium for night one.
Yeah.
I can see that as an issue where the crowd is just like, bleh.
I know no one wants to do shit where I know like everybody complaining. Well, they went night two because everybody refers back to that WrestleMania in New York where everybody was coming home late and shit like that, and you don't want to do one long night. But you're still there late. It's just multiple days now.
Mhm.
It's not like you fixed the problem. You actually made the problem worse.
Yeah.
Now you gave more, and now it's like so much that it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, first off, I mean, I gotta tip my cap. Like Greco, you just said, like, oh, they went here, then they went here, then they went here. I'm like, the toll it must take on people's wallets alone. Forget just being tired, but like probably by night one, you're just like, Jesus Christ, I'm tapped out. Like we're like, what the fuck, man? Like, Jesus Christ, like. But it shows now. Like I don't know if 2 nights is good. I mean, like, they're gonna keep doing it obviously because they make money, billions. But
right, and that's what it is at the end of the day. You're getting so I sat with Pun last night and I did the average ticket price. And I lowballed it. Okay, I lowballed it at $250. Okay, that's extreme lowball. $250 times the amount of people they had for the 2 nights, the 124,000, whatever it was. You're talking over $31 million,
and that's just the show.
That's just in tickets.
You didn't count the Superstore, all the events that they had that night, that weekend. So forget about it. They made at least way over hundreds of millions of dollars. And to me, it's just like, that plays a factor into the show. That crowd is a major factor into that show, and they just weren't. It didn't feel like WrestleMania. I don't know if anybody,
which is why, if you notice, with the exception of the Super Bowl, and even the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl is a different kind of experience, but major sports things don't happen in Vegas. UFC is the only consistent in Vegas because it's a late night thing. It's basically like boxing that younger guys can go watch. But NFL, NBA, MLB, hockey, they don't do big events in Vegas because the crowd doesn't come out for it.
Yeah. I don't think it's a big market in Vegas. That's one of the reasons why they, like you said, it was years before they got a team, right? Now, I mean, I got hockey and football, but it was nobody wanted to go near it because they knew what it was probably about. And You would rather you honestly, I mean, let's be honest here. You would rather watch those games, even WrestleMania, at like a casino, an air-conditioned casino. Like, because I was talking to Felix about it yesterday. I was like, if you're sitting in the nosebleeds, at that point, you're like, I could have just watched this at home in an air-conditioned space. I'm watching it on a big screen TV anyway. I can't. I was like, when we went to WrestleMania in Texas, we had fairly good seats. They weren't bad, right? But the ring still looked like a little square. And at that one point, I told Felix I was just sitting there, just looking up at the TV, and I just remember at one point, I'm just watching WrestleMania on TV. I could have just
on TV.
I could have done this at home. I didn't have to come all the way here for this shit and stay here for fucking 8 hours. Like I'm impressed at the stamina that these wrestling fans are showing you for these kinds of weekends and shit. But like, it does show, and it showed on Saturday, like that they do get a lot taken out of them. And you know, it's never going to stop now. Obviously, WrestleMania is going to be a 2-night fucking event forever.
SummerSlam's going to be 2 nights. Royal Rumble's going to be 2 nights soon.
I hate that idea already.
So now hold on a second. If Royal Rumble goes to 2 nights, what is like the women's Royal Rumble going to main event night 1 and then the men's night 2? Is that how it'll be? Right.
And then you'll probably get the men's championship night 1, the women's championship night 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll do the reverse. Whatever night the men's Royal Rumble is, you'll do the women's title. Whatever night the men's is, you'll do the men's.
It'll be like one of those things where it's like the women's championship opens the show, men's championship opens the show, and then the Rumbles close out either respective show. Yeah, that's too much. It's too much.
I'm waiting to see what tickets prices look like for SummerSlam, since I believe they'll be on sale next month. So
can all three of us just agree that nobody gives a fuck that Cardi B is going to host SummerSlam?
Oh my god!
Why did I have to see that commercial 100 fucking times over the weekend? Like, who gives no fuck?
Because again, it's a name, and this is what we're going to get into when we get into the main event of night 2. It's just, what are we doing? Why do we need these people?
Yeah. I still say the celebrities that they show in the crowd. It's like, stop using that word. You're using it too. You're using that term too loosely. Enough. They're not fucking celebrities. They're YouTube people. Or fucking Netflix. They showed this fucking. They showed this Indian guy. He's on Netflix show, and he's standing there. He's going like this, and 60 fucking thousand people are like, who's this guy? Like none of them, not one of them. There was nothing. They showed Dean Norris. He had to take his hat off. So people were like, why are they showing this old white guy? Like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he takes his hat off and they go, oh, I think that's the guy from Breaking Bad. And by the time they figured it out, it was already done.
You're such a liar, Danny. I care.
I'm gonna throw a water bottle at you. Away.
Oh,
even like last night when they had the girl come out to sing the national anthem, like they're like, oh, she's got 400 million views, this many art, this many that, and they announced her.
She's sweet like a psycho, huh?
I don't know who she is.
Ava Max. Okay.
Ava Max. I only remember from that song and that song alone.
All I know is I looked up at my TV screen and I saw her in the ring and I said, in my head, who the fuck is this?
That's what the crowd said when they were announcing her. They're like, who
the fuck is that? I remember in my head going, I said to my wife yesterday, I said, Aretha Franklin saying America the Beautiful, WrestleMania 3. And this is what is now, like, what the fuck are we?
Is it because Triple H is trying to get young people?
Do you know something, Tony? Nobody in the history of wrestling where they sing America the Beautiful ever goes over Aretha Franklin. You're just stuck in 1987 with that.
Yes.
I know.
Aretha Franklin does America the Beautiful, and for me, Whitney Houston is always the Star Spangled Banner at the Super Bowl. That's it.
The Super Bowl, yeah. Those are two.
And nobody overlooks them because you can't.
Jelly Roll.
Was good.
But you know what? Jelly Roll is like someone that you've seen. You're like, I know him. I've seen him on TV and stuff like that.
Here, for me, I can't speak for y'all, but he's kind of growing on me. I'm becoming a fan slowly.
Jelly Roll, yeah, he doesn't bother me. You can just tell he's like a country bumpkin.
Yes.
You could clearly tell. He loves wrestling. The first and another guy who always makes me laugh every time they fucking show him is that George Kittle. That guy is fucking genius. But he's funny to see in the crowd.
Kittle's a wrestling guy. He's there for everything. Yeah. He's friends with all of them.
Yeah.
His reaction to stuff was priceless too. I was just like, oh, he legit like, oh shit, I didn't see that.
He is fully invested. He loves being a mark, and you know what? I'm happy about that, because like in a world where I first I was doing a live stream a couple days ago, and somebody said to me, is like I called him a mark, like to be a joke, like I was calling, and he felt like he was like, I feel like that was an offensive word because people always, you know, when they get called mark, and I said, no, if you're a mark, it means you're happy. Like if you're a mark, it means you're fully invested. It means you're hooked. It means you love it. You're a full fan.
Let me tell you right now. Okay. Okay. Come on.
Oh my God.
Come on. Come on.
Bro, that's how one more.
Come on. Come on.
Oh my God.
He's going to get more. He's got more.
He's not done it.
No.
Oh, yeet.
For real,
Oh
man.
my
Listen,
God.
I don't ever use that.
Speaking of yeet, Jesus Christ. Speaking of yeet, I'm gonna say what to me was a great match with a very disappointing ending, and it had nothing to do with
I'll
the
agree
winner.
100% with that.
It's just how it went down.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
You know,
Even
I
at,
thought
like,
the match
even
was
at the end,
very
I was
good.
like, at the end, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I just didn't, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but they never sold like like I'm gonna choke you out, I'm gonna submit you. Like they never sold that, and all of a sudden, like the way it was like I don't know, it was just like a weird ending that I didn't expect, and I was let down. I know you don't want to say that, but like I was just like, I don't know. And when I saw that was when I immediately said to myself, like, this title definitely has a shelf life. This championship reign, it has a shelf life, and I don't know how long the shelf life goes.
So for me, I was just like, in my head, the way I pictured everything is not how it played out.
Okay.
I was just like, he's gonna beat him by pinfall. As far as Gunther goes, with only losing to 4 guys or 4 or 5 guys within the roster, or whatever, this is the one loss that I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care that it ended that way.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit him with 3 fantastic splashes. He could have just went for a pin. Like he could have just hit him with like 4 splashes.
Yes, that's what I was.
Well, I'm okay with.
I was just like, the 3 splashes was enough.
I just think he could have held it for like, I don't know, 10 more seconds. Like Gunther could have did the slow like tap out thing.
He passed out fast. No!
He was like, get him off of me. Yeah, he was really like,
especially with the whole buildup of him like destroying his brother and everything. Like I wanted. I mean, maybe it's what they do next, but I wanted Gunther to suffer more.
I wanted him to get his receipt, and like I felt like he didn't get his receipt, and I like there's another thing that played in my head too, where it was just like, well, yeah, no, you may call him main event Jey Uso, but at WrestleMania, this guy doesn't deliver, because when he fought his brother a few years ago, it was very disappointing too. So
that was for both guys.
Yeah, but I'm just in my head thinking in my head like, yo, when you put this guy on a grand stage, he may be able to main event Raw and Saturday Night's main event constantly. When you put him on WrestleMania, SummerSlam, I don't know if he'll deliver. I don't know if he'll be able to sell the match the way a Cody can, the way Cena can, the way Roman could. I just don't see it with Jey. Great talent, fantastic talent. I'm happy he got his. It's the same way I felt when Kofi Kingston won. It was the same way I felt when I saw Daniel Bryan, the Yes Movement, finally reach its peak. But even those guys, when you see them win the belt, you're like, that's awesome. Now the clock starts. Where's the expiration date? Like now the meat, how long until the meat goes bad? So that's what I'm waiting for. Like that's I'm SummerSlam the latest.
I think what we're gonna get, and you could tell by some of the night 2 winners and what happened with Seth, that those are them now lining up who the next like contenders are.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked if Logan Paul gets a title shot at some point. You know, I wouldn't be shocked that Seth is the guy that actually takes the belt off of him. We'll get into one angry Karrion Kross in a little bit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's get to night 2 and let's start.
Did we talk about Tiffany and Charlotte?
No, we did not.
You could. I didn't watch a single frame of it because I was over here editing.
I enjoyed the entrance. I thought it was a pretty cool Barbie thing they did. Otherwise, than the rat. the rest of it was just very like there.
Blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Felix said that to me yesterday. He's like, "That match sucked." That's what he said.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I wouldn't
I
say
didn't
it sucked. It just wasn't. It wasn't good.
I'm just using his words. He said it sucked, right?
Yeah.
That's what he said. Yeah, so that's all. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch it. I saw the entrance. And listen, at WrestleMania, they always have awesome entrances.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of people always have cool entrances. Like even CM Punk's Living Color. Like first off, they sounded great live. I'll give them. I'll tip my cap to Living Color. They sounded great live. But you know, that promo was a prime example of what you were going to get at WrestleMania. It fell flat on their faces, and so much so that I don't know what happened. All I remember seeing is I turned back at the end of the match, and I saw Stratton look like her face got mangled. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened, but I was like, oh shit, something. They
couple tough bumps.
That was it, right? So yeah, and then,
yeah.
But I was it anything memorable? Because like I said, I didn't see a single thing.
No, just wanted to mention it. We can move on now.
All right.
Try to do it just because you feel like.
So let's let's go from one women's match to another to move on for night 2, the opening show. To open the show, night 2, triple threat, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. I think that was
weird to give her the belt.
I surprised that she retained, but very good match to open up WrestleMania night 2. Malik, what did you feel about that match?
I was obviously disappointed. I was like, you know something? She's sitting there, got her in the pan after nailing the KOD, and when she looked up, I was like, son of a bitch. Io retains. I was like, fuck. I was like, you know what? Overall, it was a great match. I was just disappointed with the finish.
Yeah, I was very surprised by the finish. Greco, how do you feel?
I loved
the finish. It made sense.
Yeah.
Right. For me, wrestling-wise, it was probably the best wrestling match of the weekend. I thought the night 1 main event was the best, like, storytelling and stuff. But match-wise, I loved it. To me, I feared that the only reason why they made it a triple threat was to have Io take the pin.
That's what I thought. That's why I was shocked.
Yes.
And they went the opposite route.
Yes.
All right, what's up?
I was just saying we missed talking about New Day War Raiders.
No, we briefly talked about the fact that they had no reaction when they won.
Who's the one that I was annoyed with the entrance? That was the
that was Drew McIntyre. That's night 2. Yeah.
That's next.
we got to get to that real quick. I mean, I get the sponsors. I understand that. But now we're going to have the wrestlers cosplay to the ring.
And the War Raiders did that too, yes.
Yeah. And I would, listen, I know Valkyria has the whole thing, but I'm assuming that was probably tied into that bullshit too. Because it was
no, that's her. That's her. That's her gimmick.
I know, but I'm saying like the color scheme was all like gold. Yeah. It was very like.
A lot of neon yellow.
Yeah. So like the color scheme was all matching this like video game shit that they were putting over.
In the crowd and in the
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to jump all the way into it, but me personally, what were the evil birds that Ivan Ooze had in the Power Rangers movie? She needs to have those kinds of birds with her
what were they called?
Her entrance. Okay, I can't remember the name, but
this
I know you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
yeah, those big like raven birds. They're just like
yes.
She's not supposed to be a bird. She shouldn't have her arms as the wings because Valkyries have wings on their back.
Well, that's what she usually has. That's why I didn't understand the thing
she
yesterday.
Look more
where she was,
like
she literally, you know what she looked like? She looked like somebody from the old times that was like, I discovered a flying machine and was going to like, Cliff and just go like this and try to fucking fly. I remember looking up at the screen and she's going like this. I was like, what the fuck is she doing?
Yeah.
The fucking wings on her hands.
She's trying to be too bird.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about I'm happy that Drew got his W over Damian Priest. It wasn't a bad street fight. It was a pretty good.
He needed
it was
to get
good.
the win.
Yeah,
he needed to get the win after taking all the L's. It's like something had to change, and the Claymore finish that they did was good.
Yeah, it was stiff. It was solid. I had no issue with the match itself. I agree with you with the whole the entrance thing, but otherwise than that, like if that's the only gripe we have, I'm pretty okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre annoys me because he should be more Scottish. So in my opinion, he should have a similar outfit, not that dumb video game one, but he should have like Celtic.
I mean, like I said, they
We,
tried with the whole
they did
sword.
that already.
Yeah, they tried with the
Why didn't
sword
it
and
work?
everything. It just didn't work. It didn't work. Yeah.
That's why he's saying all this weird random shit.
Yeah,
like,
he's like being
what was that?
real. He's being real.
That
Like they're,
makes sense.
you know. But I will say
But the
this.
song matches the outfit idea.
Yes, it does. This song is pretty badass. But when he when he came to the ring, I just want to bring up the costume thing again because I don't know if you guys caught this, but when he was getting into the ring, the shoulder pad got caught on the rope and they immediately cut away because he got all tackled.
Yep. And then when he went to do his thing, he couldn't like move his arm, so you see him just rip it.
He just rips the thing off. That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, they threw him in this shit because even when he came out, and he put his foot on that weird Doom statue. They had the Doom guy, and he's just standing there like this, and I'm just like, this is like, I get what you're trying to do. Like, I get it. You're partnered with this video game, and now you gotta shout them out. But what happened to just the standard run of the mill commercial? Why do we have to now go, Drew? Before you go out there, just put on this giant, ridiculous cosplay costume and walk to the ring with it. I'm okay with some things, you know, but like there's certain things where you're just like, come on, man, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like you said, the War Raiders, the night before, they looked like those the morons from that Clash of Clans.
That's what the sponsor was.
I assume that's what it was for. Yeah, it was. I was like, they look just like them, and then I saw the logo in the ring. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, are they making them dress like these fucking people to put the fucking? And I'm like, this is dumb. Like it was like when I put the two together, it was really ridiculous. But the match itself, to me, it wasn't. And I said this to Felix yesterday. Best street fight was obviously Edge and Foley. Like that'll never. I don't think anybody will ever come close to that. But this was what you would. I would if I had to compare this, I would compare this to JBL and Finley from WrestleMania 24 street fight.
Okay, that was a good one.
That was a good one. This was a hard-hitting street fight, and I thought it was good.
Yeah, two big guys throwing hands. I had no issue with it.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I had no issue with it. And you say about like gimmicks toward matches, it's almost like having zombies around ringside, and the loser gets eaten by them. You know,
I remember that. No, they did that.
They did that.
They did it during the pandemic. The Miz was eaten by zombies.
During the pandemic.
Yeah, luckily, the Miz apparently it's just that Hollywood blood because he cured himself the very next week and was back in the match after being eaten by zombies. Ladies and gentlemen.
The next match was the 4-way IC match. I loved it.
I thought it was very good. I from the beginning was saying that I don't think they would put the belt on Penta. It's way too early, but I think they're just giving him his giving his WrestleMania moment. I thought it might have been the match of the night from Sunday. That fatal 4-way Intercontinental match, at least in my opinion.
I can see that being up there. I can see that being up there.
I thought it was
I don't hate that.
Yeah,
I like the triple threat, but that's not a bad comparison.
And now I don't know about you guys, but I hate to say it, but I think I'm starting to see a Dom Mysterio face turn. That crowd went nuts. They wanted to see him win that title. That was impressive.
And it's being said supposedly that he wasn't supposed to run back, but he felt the energy of the crowd and he just hauled ass and went back.
That made me laugh because when he did that and Finn Bálor was like this, what the fuck?
Yeah, his face was priceless.
Yeah.
And exactly how I said, he beat Finn. He pins Finn.
Yeah.
And I love the way they did it with the splash while Finn had him beat and shit. That was cool.
Hold on a second. Time out, T. I sometimes wish that we had playbacks on things because I also felt like that I said that. You know, Greco, the one thing you don't do is give anybody else their credit.
Why not? I'm sorry, didn't you have Braun Breaker winning this one?
Who yeah, he did.
Said Braun.
Yeah. Me and Tony had Dom on this one.
I did pick Dom Mysterio. I was very happy to be right on this one. Yeah.
But I was the one who planted the seeds on how it would go. I said things where I was just like, no, the obvious is Braun. And for me, I felt like it was going to be that way. But as the day was going, I was just like, nah. And if he takes the win, he has to pin Finn. And I do believe I said those things.
You did say that. You did say that.
Okay.
Because right now it has to be an official end of the Judgment Day on tonight on Raw. Like Finn Bálor.
But do they? So in my mind, originally, if the crowd didn't get so like that was one of the bigger moments for the weekend. If the crowd did not react the way they did with Dom, do you actually keep Finn heel and they boot out Dom?
So
Yeah,
I
probably.
agree.
Yeah, probably.
I agree because now Dom has the IC belt, Finn has nothing, Liv has nothing, which I'm sure we don't have to get into much, but we can get into a little bit. So where does it go now?
She could just wind up leaving Dom for Finn, and that'll just be something there.
Buddy, that would be the perfect way to kick him out and turn him face.
Yeah.
Because then he can garner more sympathy. Because
but I think maybe Carlito would stick with him, and they'd both be faces. I don't know. Something could happen that way.
I said this to Felix yesterday after fucking Dom hits the frog splash and pins him, and I go, "Ooh, I feel bad for Carlito." Because as soon as they break up the Judgment Day, that poor guy's getting the boot.
He's got nothing.
He's got nothing. So he's probably when fucking Dom went for the 619 and Carlito's like, "No, what are you doing?" I was like Felix. He's like this. What are you doing? I can't get fired. No, don't fucking. But that was
next up,
match of the night.
Next up, we had the most maybe shocking moment of the weekends. Randy Orton comes out, throws out the open challenge, and
that was awesome, dude.
Say his name, and he appears.
I want to tell you how great this moment was. My wife didn't want to pop, but she did. She did because as soon as he turns and they zoomed in, she started. All of us.
I like the dumb turns in the ring at
Yeah,
the end.
that shit was funny, man. I was all in on it. I was happy with that surprise. Very happy.
When Orton did his,
afterwards, yes.
Oh, that was priceless.
I saw this morning a lot of like internet fucking buffoons that are like, oh, typical WWE, bring in the TNA champion and bury him. Do you realize if Joe Hendry never does anything again in his wrestling career, he gets to say he got the loudest pop of the weekend and stood in the ring with Randy Orton?
Well, not only that, he had 63,000 people singing his theme song and waving their arms with him. And then he got in the ring to, like you said, a 20-plus year veteran and Randy Orton, multiple-time world champion. That's a WrestleMania moment that'll stand the test of time.
And he actually played his thing along with him.
He played, and then first off, the RKO to end it was phenomenal.
Yes.
When he turns and then just gets RKO'd, I was like, dude, like fucking perfect, man. Like, and I didn't see no burying.
No.
Because even afterwards, like he picks him up, he raises his hand up. Yeah, he RKOs him a second time. But I mean, come on. I said it to my wife. He's like, he's going to RKO him again. And she goes, why would he RKO him again? And just as she finished that sentence, he was RKOing him again.
Because he's Randy. This is what he
He's Randy
does.
Orton.
And even after putting him down, he still showed him love.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just like,
he gives him the slap on the chest. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's like, great stuff. Well, I don't know if it was real or it was supposed to be, but when Hendry walks out, they cut back to Orton, and he's like, well, holy shit. Like, he couldn't believe the reaction he had got. He's like, all right, I guess they made the right choice. He's like, come on, bring him out here, let's fight. So I thought it was fantastic.
Wait, wasn't that also when that guy was trying to run up and they caught him? The commentator guy you remember?
Oh, no, that was John Cena. That was at the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When John Cena was leaving the ring, I don't know if anybody else saw that, where Pat McAfee was trying to, like, beat John Cena. Yeah. And he was like,
why would he do that?
Because Pat McAfee was probably stoned out of his gourd. Like, I'm just going to, like, come on.
When Austin came out drinking beer, they were dying for a cat.
I will also say, and Pun brought this up, and you start to realize this more and more. Randy Orton is a monster.
Yes.
Like, you look at the size of him and how big that guy is, especially like
they look like Andre and Hogan looking at each other at that moment.
Yes. Like, I was like, holy shit. Like, I thought Joe Henry was a big guy.
Yeah, buddy, there was a reason why when Orton came into the business, they saw what they saw in him.
Yes.
Like, he was what you, like, a prototypical wrestler or pro wrestler. Like, and this guy has just stand the test of time. I can't believe this was his 20th WrestleMania. I said to my wife, I was like, I remember seeing this guy walk out on Raw. Like, and another one that I wanted to shout out to Randy Orton's gear, which was a throwback to his very first debut colors gear. That was cool. I said he got the Wolverine colors on. I was like, he used to have that on when he first debuted. And I was like, oh yeah, 20 fucking years, dummy. Like, so that was great. Like I said, I loved it. Thought it was great. It was short. It was what you expected. It. I don't think they were going to have like this Broadway. Very, very good. What was after that?
AJ and Paul.
AJ and Logan Paul.
I like that.
A solid match.
Yeah.
I think I really like it because I know Paul from YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
I
it
watch
was a
the
solid
whole
match.
thing.
Logan Paul's a great fucking heel.
Felix hates him.
Yeah,
Yes.
Logan Paul's definitely doing his
A
job.
lot of people hate him. There was
Well,
a
he
bunch of
wasn't
commentary
villain.
here.
People hated
Listen.
him.
Personally, I don't like him, but watching him, you cannot deny the guy is he's great, a great heel, does really well in the ring, and the guy's a hustler. Whether you like him or not, like the guy is out there doing everything he possibly can.
Yes, and listen, the finish, while you can't do that to everybody, is very interesting. I didn't like, I
That's
don't.
just youth, isn't it?
I don't know if you need a backflip into a DDT.
Just showing off.
But I guess you don't need to do a flip into a power driver neither, and look where that's gotten us. So
That's the young generation.
yeah, I said this yesterday when they showed the fucking screen. I was like, yeah, this has the potential to be the match of the night or just an absolute spot fest. Like, because just the way it could be configured. I like the way it ended, kind of. I like that Logan, punched him and did the thing. I just don't like the interference bullshit with that weird
So I
guy.
said that last week with that weird guy and everything. But now this is where we could talk about the Cross thing because he got involved here.
Yeah, because he got involved with the Red Sox. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is where I feel the Cross thing might be a work because I think this is all like building up to something for Cross. And Malik, if you want to elaborate on what we're talking about, what you sent us before, because since I don't give credit, I'm telling you because you sent it.
I was just stating something that was factual. I don't know why you're attacking me. What I found was it seemed to be like one of those fanatics interviews that they have or whatever after the show, and Karrion Kross stepped in and just said, it's all about, things that go viral. So he wanted to turn around and make a viral moment of his own and basically said, fuck you to whoever was in the production truck.
No. Was that him filming himself?
No, he was on an interview and he said to the guy in the production truck, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I assume that they were supposed to get something and they missed it. So I assume that they were supposed to catch something and they fucked it up, the whole thing up for him. And he was very mad about it, or just was like, I'm going to say this because that was a moment for him. That was his life bomb, right? You would assume like that was a bomb moment, right? And he's going to come out tomorrow. And listen, he's not wrong with what he said. The crowd has been embracing Karrion Kross for a while now, and they want to see him. And they're, who this same happened? Zack Ryder. Remember Zack Ryder put himself over with the Hollywood story bullshit, and they just ignored it. They just did not want to fucking hear it. I feel like they're doing that to Kross, and Kross is now going to say it. But Triple H is not Vince. Triple H is not going to blatantly ignore it. He's going to.
I think Triple H is telling him to go with it.
Yeah, you got a problem. You go out there, you say something, create a viral moment, and let's now play off that. And I think that's what Karrion Kross did last night. I think I don't think you leave WWE. Where you going to go unless they fire you? You're not going to. You want to quit? You can go to AEW, sure, but then what happens? You get lost in the shuffle.
You become a wild card in an unnecessary tournament that loses on your first night to have a tag match the next night. That makes absolutely no sense. Anyway, we're just sticking to WWE right now.
Catch AEW every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on.
I'm going to tell you though, my one big issue, and this is going to play into the main event a little bit, and this has happened earlier on. We need to have more talking about booking and how matches are going to go sometimes, because the triple threat basically ended the same way as the fatal four-way, with someone coming off the top rope out of nowhere and getting a pin. This match has AJ doing the, I don't know what to do. I want to be a good guy, but I need to be a bad guy. Kind of like Cody does later on with the title. Yeah. So, we have to be like, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like, you can't have the same things going on. Yeah,
that's that. You know what that is? That's amateur indie shit. Where everybody just does the same thing over and over and over again. You're like, I've seen this 3 times already. Yes. I didn't like that. Like, I don't know what Karrion Kross is doing, but like I said, if I was Karrion Kross, I'd be furious with, like you just said, the right now. Like, you guys didn't know that they were doing that in the main event? We just did that, and now they're doing it again, and that's obviously going to outshine what we just did. That's Cena and Cody. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you just set me up for like failure. Maybe that's what the fuck you was. I mean, you don't know. I like he's like, we literally verbatim. It was just brass knuckles. It was a different prop. Like I slid the knuckles into this guy, and AJ was a good guy instead of just walloping him with the brass knucks. But I did love what Karrion Kross said. I've been in this business 20 years, and I was giving you the brass knucks because you were supposed to, on behalf of all of us, send him back, and you didn't. Like I liked that. I think that was fun. But I think the shit at the end was a shoot because it was probably either fucked up or the guy in the production truck could have been the agent who was like, do it this way, and then realized, oh, fuck, we just basically did the main event. We just did the main event, like verbatim. So maybe that was his fuck you. I don't know. But I think I think there was real anger there tied into some work, some stuff that he was supposed to say. It was well done. Karrion Kross is very good on the mic. I've noticed that watching Raw like as consistently as I have. He's very good. So he was able to deliver that very well because, like, you don't know. Is it work? Is it real? That was done very, very well. That's exactly what you want out of a work shoot. So I feel that his time is coming.
I agree.
You can tell. You could just see it. It's coming. I don't know if it's going to be an Intercontinental reign. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's coming for him. It's happening soon. Same thing with Grande Americano. This Grande Americano thing is literally, I know it's ridiculous, but it's for Chad Gable. Once this is done, Chad Gable is going to get something major.
Well, Malik, didn't you just say before about AAA about they should have him win the title?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And to bring that back up real quick, how much of a fuck you was it to Tony Khan and AEW to have El Vikingo, whatever his name is, Viking guy, in the ring at WrestleMania with Chad Gable, just doing that little spot thing, whatever they did. And a year ago, you're blowing this guy with him wrestling Omega and all your top stars.
Like I said before, Tony Khan is throwing himself. Just because of what's going on. And WWE is obviously kicking it back to the way Vince was doing things, taking throughout the territories. It's happening all over again. It never stopped.
Right, but now instead of taking these territories over and like destroying them, getting rid of them, what I think they're going to do is you're going to have NXT AAA Mexico, NXT. I believe they're about to purchase the Puerto Rican Federation.
Really?
Okay.
Which one?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Now you're gonna have NXT Japan pretty soon. They're gonna probably go back into NXT Europe. All you're doing is adding more content, which is good because now that's how you keep these guys separated. And once a year, you do your Worlds Collide where everyone comes together.
I will say this: I just saw she brought up Rough Shot's comment. I don't think they need to bring back Lucha Underground because they just purchased AAA. That's the one. I just Lucha Underground is great, and if you want to make that like a separate entity, just to have it on like the Peacock or the WWE Network,
you have to deal with Netflix. Just put it back on Netflix.
Yeah, just put it back on Netflix. Do something along those lines. That would be cool. I'm not going to say not to because Lucha Underground was very interesting. But they listen, that floored me when they just announced that out of nowhere because I wasn't even reading about it. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we bought AAA yesterday." It was just like, "Wait, what?" Like that was very. That was an
announcement on the pre-show.
Yeah,
not on the main show, on the pre-show. Like
it was just like a subtle bombshell. Like, oh, by the way, we bought AAA. Fuck off, Tony Khan. Like I think you do. Go ahead, do your stupid fucking Forbidden Door.
Oh, you're doing Grand Slam Mexico. Okay, we just bought Mexico.
That's what I'm saying.
That's wild.
Yeah, do your Forbidden Door. We'll just buy all the doors, and then you can't have one. Like that's how I just like. It's crazy how they work.
Not only did we take the two biggest Mexican superstars your company had, now we're just going to go buy the other company, and you can't use any of their guys either.
And now you can't take any of them. Now you can't have any of them. It's like how many doors you wanted? None. Shut up.
Have fun with Hologram in your main event.
Fucking ridiculous. Speaking of main events, because I think the only match after that was the tag match.
No, the women's tag. Yeah.
Yeah. Who gives a shit about that?
What a waste.
Well, we
was Bailey was a healthy scratch. She wasn't actually.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. They said that was the plan all along.
I think that's fucked
Yeah.
up. I think that's fucked up.
And they said that backstage, a lot of people were upset about it.
Yeah, it's bullshit. And listen,
So that girl was crying in the audience, right? No, that she was crying happy because that.
yeah,
new
because she
girl
came
was-
back. Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah. So, they showed a girl in the crowd. And Becky came out. She was crying.
that's the same girl that got hit with the 4-wheeler.
Are you
Really?
serious?
Oh.
Yes, I'm almost
No,
99% positive it's the same girl
I
in the
thought
front
the
row
one that got hit
gets
with
hit with the 4-wheeler.
I thought it was an elderly black woman or older black
Yeah.
woman that got hit.
Yeah.
Not. Yeah.
Oh, I
no.
thought it was the
That
white girl
great
with the
black
Karen
girl was
face.
my
No.
No, with the Karen face is wallow.
Well, no, they said they were calling her. They were calling this lady a Karen because she, I guess, complained.
Yeah.
Was very upset
Oh my god!
that Austin hit the guardrail with the
The
thing.
bitch don't sit in the front.
But he did get it stuck there too. Like he
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
move. Like I don't know what he did.
Well, did you see he didn't go up? Like the reason why it took him so long to go out is he drove right past the ramp and almost crashed into the downward ramp. So hey, we'll use this. This is the stage, right? Instead of him going up the ramp this way and turning, he went right into it.
Yeah, he's a fucking nut job. As soon as that would happen, I would have walked right over to him like, I think you've had one too many. Why don't you walk? Why don't you just walk through it? I can imagine
He walked away.
I can imagine Triple H in the gorilla. And he goes,
Fucking
"We gotta
Steve,
stop the drinking before the shows, guys. We can drink after. We don't
That's
have to
like-
have the whole fucking."
That's like Jey Uso doing the press conference.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, I
Hey.
hated that.
She was like, "What the fuck is going on with him? He's making no sense." Yeah.
I was like,
You know how I feel? 2-time shocker.
yeah.
2-time shocker, y'all.
He said a whole paragraph.
I'm almost World Heavyweight
I was
Champion.
like, wait, what did I just hear?
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
I was over here editing and he goes, he just said a whole paragraph of slang words. I don't know what he's saying.
I mean, listen, as long as he's not getting behind the wheel, we're okay, all right?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. Austin is apparently just shit hammers beers backstage. Goes, well, goddamn kid, I'll ride that thing to the ring. Just jump on it. Like, oh my god.
His purpose was just to get people excited and
No.
read the stats.
It was just to read the attendance. I don't know if you
He was
noticed this,
like-
but Pat McAfee showed the card.
The
after
card.
Austin left. And I don't know how big you saw them numbers on there. I'm like, yeah, you did that. Definitely that was Austin's AARP shit kicking in.
I know. I noticed that with Shawn Michaels too, though.
Yeah, man. I don't know if Triple H was ripping people. He's like, I know you're old, but that shit. Like when I saw how big the numbers were, I was like, Austin was probably like, hold on a second, I put my glasses on.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh god damn, man, 124,000.
That's pretty fucking. That's a lot of people.
Impressive, man. And then like, I don't know if you noticed this, but the half-ass apology when he gets out of the ring, he walks right over to the person and he almost killed him. He goes, "Hey, that was my bad, man. Sorry." He just walks away.
Oh damn, kid, you should have been sitting in the front row.
Oh, goddamn kid, you paid the price to sit in the front row. Nick can't handle this, and he just walked away.
Yo.
But this is one of those situations. If it was anyone else, it would be probably a different conversation. But
Yes.
because it's so cold, you're just
Oh,
like,
dude,
yeah, it's Steve.
I was telling her, she's like, "Is he drunk?" And I was like, "Babe, Stone Cold Steve Austin always gets drunk."
Is he drunk? Is the sky blue?
I was telling her about the time where he sat in the computer chair and rolled down the ramp.
Oh my god!
And it hit the fucking thing, and he almost died
Oh,
because
so
he
you're
went.
telling me that he's honestly just a giant kid that they don't say. No
Oh
to?
yes, he is.
Yes.
Just when you're over,
Yeah.
you can do no wrong.
I would
When you
Unless-
made the company millions upon millions and launched it into what it is today,
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going down a launch or a chair, and no one can say no.
No.
They're like, okay.
No.
He one time was so drunk he was laying on the ramp at the end of Raw, like Raw was over, and he was laying on the ramp. This was on the Austin DVD, and he just had the mic like this, and he goes, "I'm drunk,"
drunk.
and the crowd just
I saw that,
popped.
yeah.
Yeah, like so. That's
Oh, rough shot. That's really good, rough shot.
That's what Stone Cold fact, dude. Well, first off, if Stone Cold came that close, I'm like, yeah, I would have went nuts, dude.
Hear me?
Brought there by someone else.
As soon
Oh,
as
yeah.
first off,
Oh,
if he
yeah.
comes and Nick Khan comes over to me, he's like, "Are you okay?" I'd be like, "I just got Roman Quest. He almost ran over my foot, but I have Roman Quest. Got to get in the ring and have a beer with him." And they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm like, come on, let's go." They're like,
No
"Yeah."
lawsuits. You'll
I'm
never
like,
get a
"I'm
word
like,
from
I
me.
just want to get in the ring with him.
And he can even stun me. I'll take the
He can
stunner. I
stun
don't
me.
care.
Let him stun me. I'll take it.
I'm
Oh,
so
God. Now we
I'm
get-
so glad we're so happy right now because what we're about to talk about is going to be so sad.
yeah, the main event, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena.
I loved Cody's outfit.
Yes, I will say this.
The
It
Iron Man
felt
skull.
it felt about as drab as John Cena's entrance.
Oh, that would piss me off.
So John Cena's
I was
Tony,
like,
the man said it. Tony, you get nothing.
you get nothing. I like.
No, what did
I was very much. I know we don't want to skip over the whole match, but I did like when it came back and he was like, "No, shut that music off. They don't get this. They don't
Yeah.
get a celebration." And he just, that was great. But like the match itself, we'll start with you, Greco. I know we have a lot of thoughts about the main event and I mean the ending and how it went down. But how did you feel about the whole thing, start to finish?
I'm gonna eliminate 6 minutes from this match, and it could be a perfectly fine ending. Not the greatest ending, but I would have been perfectly fine about it.
So you're cutting most of Travis Scott.
I'm just cutting Travis Scott out of this.
Yeah, that was
because if Travis Scott doesn't come out there and it goes down the exact same way, he does nothing that makes you say, "Oh man, yeah, he had an impact on the match." No, all it is Cody getting his receipt, which isn't even a receipt. You know what a crossroads, big deal. You should have punched him in the face.
You should have. Yeah.
Okay, if you take that out of this match, I'm perfectly fine with what everything that went down.
Yeah, I thought it was a standard John Cena match. I thought, the way he played it off, where he was hitting the classics, he was very slow.
Yeah.
I don't know, and this could be just how good John Cena is mentally. I don't know if he was purposely wrestling bad, but he was not as. I mean, I know he's bad, but he was like, yeah, it could be age, but he was just not like. I'm like, damn, he's got to slow this down because he is just. It's not. I mean, he's clearly being exposed to how bad he is.
Maybe that was the point.
But that's what I'm saying. Was he overacting? Was he doing it on purpose to piss the crowd off because he wanted to be the bad guy? Because it's so funny with this guy. He finally turns heel and these morons cheer him. Like, it's just so like, you guys just didn't get the memo. Like, I don't understand. Now all of a sudden they're booing Cody. Like, the whole fucking year you've been Cody fans. You've been, whoa! Now all of a sudden this guy kicks him in the dick and you all hate him. Like, I just don't understand the logic.
There was one thing Cena did on this match that I loved. At one point, I forget what Cody goes somewhere. He goes somewhere and he gets Cody on the floor and he just starts like double hammering him repeatedly.
It was a botch. He was supposed to punch Cody like multiple times, and Cody just took a bump on that first one and rolled over, and then John just kind of dropped on him and just started doing this.
Yeah, I like that's anger and like aggression.
Yeah. I listen. This
Malik,
heel
what say
version
you?
of John Cena was great. Malik, how did you feel about him? I mean, you got all this merch.
First of all, I was sitting there and I didn't believe it really happened. I was just like, he really won? I was like, because really, I thought Cody was kicking out so much that I was just like, oh, he's going to kick out of this.
Yeah.
And he stayed down. I was like, oh, you're really going this direction. So now my wonder is, what is he going to do tonight on Raw? And he's supposed to show up supposed to be pretty much assigned to be showing up for all of next month.
Here's my thing. I said this last week. It's going to be now. This is my hot take. I believe he will hold the title until December. And it's going to be a mad scramble to take it off him before I will take this with me forever, and no one will have this belt ever again. And I think Cody will then get his receipt in December and go into the new year as two-time WWE champion. And
keeping it to December is just hard for me. It's not hard for me to see it, but I don't know.
So what you could do here, but what's really going to be hard to sell the fans is there's another company doing this right now, but this would make so much sense. Cena's holding the title hostage.
Mm-hmm. They're going to do it the right way.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
I have this belt. You'll never get it back. Like he said, I'm going to take it home and you can make a new toy to play with. But this one is mine. I'm taking this one home with me. And like I said, I think Cody's going to be like, that belt means too much to this company. I have to be the one that takes you down. Like like for the next few months, you can put great challengers in front of Cena. So now Cena can have greatest hits. He can fight Orton. He can fight fucking Roman. He can fight this guy. He can fight that guy. But the one that's going to mean the most is Cody Rhodes taking him off. Now I see this. Cena's going to retire with it. That would be fine. I wouldn't give a fuck if that happened. But I have a feeling that John Cena knows how wrestling goes. When you retire, you go out on your back. You do not win. So that is how it's going to go down. I think he's going to go out on his back.
I think we're going to get that Cena promo tonight, and what's going to happen is Orton's going to come out.
I'd be fine with that.
Even though Orton's a SmackDown guy, I think, especially with the event being in Cena's a SmackDown guy now too. So with the event being in St. Louis, it makes sense.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
We get Orton Cena in Orton's hometown. Again, Orton's the type of guy at this point, it doesn't matter when he loses matches like this.
No, I ain't gonna give a shit. And I think too, like that's one of his greatest rivalries is Randy Orton.
Yes.
So this would be a perfect way to kind of put a nice little bow tie on Randy Orton and John Cena. And like I said, this way they can have that, goodbye thing where John Cena, it's like John Cena's retiring and Randy Orton is probably right behind him. Right. So give them that shit. And then, like I said, it's going to be a scramble. Everybody's like, Cody Rhodes is going to be like, he's going to be chasing. He's going to chase. I have to take this off him. I have to get it back before he leaves with it. I promised the WWE I am captain and all this bullshit.
I just can't had an idea and it's going to be terrible. And I hope it's wrong.
Oh boy. What?
Cena's last match will be in December and it'll be against The Rock for the title. The Rock will take the title off of him, and then WrestleMania next year, we finally get Rock Roman.
I mean, I hope you're wrong.
Well, he just looked at the camera like, oh no.
Yeah. I hope you're wrong. Yes.
Is the side of the towel with all the font on it, is that absorbable or no?
I've never used it for that, so I
She's asking you like, hey man, when you wash your hands, can you get a good dry on there?
Are they a dry towel or just a towel?
The towel gives you nothing.
Gives you
Cena gives you nothing, so the towel therefore will give you nothing.
it's rally up.
Oh,
it's
not,
it's a one and done because
you don't disrespect it. Put your moist hands on. No,
Okay.
we don't do that here.
Imagine if John Cena was like, this is going to be
a happy towel.
a happy towel. Yeah.
That seemed more disrespectful.
Exactly. No,
Oh my goodness.
Do we think that the first guy tonight that comes out to challenge Jey Uso is Seth, or do you hold that off and go with, like I said before, Logan Paul or somebody else?
A Logan Paul would make sense to just get it out of the way right out the bat.
Logan Paul, he was at the press conference talking about how he stood toe to toe with Seth Rollins on like only his third time. Like he's very young. He was very adamant about Seth Rollins and how he was able to kind of stand toe to toe with him at the press conference. So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and says, "I'm this good. I deserve to be the world champion.
Title shot.
Yeah, I deserve to have an opportunity for that championship." But you would assume Gunther would want to cash in that rematch almost right away at Backlash.
I don't know. Might have Gunther sitting at home for a little while.
Yeah, the way that ended, I think Gunther's taking some time off. Although even like when Gunther was champion, he really wasn't featured all that great on Raw. Like I feel like he wasn't featured that much. Like, there was times I forgot that he was champion.
Well, being stuck in an angle with either Sami Zayn or Damian Priest and Finn Bálor for the majority of your run.
Your title reign, yeah.
Yeah.
I had Damian Priest if I'm adding it to it. If I didn't, it's that was just taking up his whole time. That's why I'm like, I didn't mind the program with him and Jay. Most people were just like, it's not going anywhere. The highlight of it is him basically bathed in Jimmy's blood.
Yeah.
And Jay can't do anything. I just wish that finish just was ended with the splashes. I would have been fine with that. Yeah. Maybe they felt they were just too.
Yeah, like, I mean, with that also, you could also like. I agree with Tony. Maybe he just cashes in. Like that's what we get at the next show or something.
I think he's just gonna either come back out. Rough Shot here says I expect Gunther to come out and congratulate him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna go sportsman, the sportsman route, because he's been. He bathed his, like you just said, he bathed himself in Jimmy's blood. I don't think he's gonna come out the next day on Raw and shake his hand. Like Jey Uso had to ask God for forgiveness for what he was about to become.
Yes.
I just don't think that he would want to accept his congratulations. You know, I think there was a lot of animosity and anger there in terms of the story, where I just don't think that Jey Uso would want to hear anything that Gunther had to say. At least in my.
What you could have done in all this is you could have held off the, like I say, the Rocky IV moment with Jimmy. You could have held that off to like tonight, and that's how Gunther gets his rematch.
I'm fine with that. That would have been an interesting.
And now you do the hardcore match with the two of them, and that's when Jey has to ask for forgiveness because he's now going to do things.
Yeah.
You know, and because Jey is Samoan, you want to do tribal combat.
Yes, for instance, like if Jey and Jimmy were in the ring celebrating Jey's win, and then Gunther came out of nowhere and did that whole thing, because now you're adding more animosity to it. You're throwing gasoline on the fire. Mm-hmm. Like he just came in not only on his moment where he's celebrating the championship win, but now he takes out his brother completely. That would have been cool. I mean, let me ask you this question, guys, because I heard this yesterday from Michael Cole with the trading card patches that Finn Bálor had on his pants, and they said if somebody debuts tomorrow, they'll have this little patch that'll be on the thing. So that being said, clearly somebody's debuting tonight.
They said going forward, anyone that debuts on Raw or SmackDown.
Well, okay, so anybody who debuts,
anybody
patches, all right. But if you had to guess, they obviously signed these other guys. Do you think they show up tonight on Raw, or do you think anybody from NXT is going to get called up? Who do you think shows up tonight? Obviously, it's the start of the new wrestling year. So who shows up?
Well, definitely for sure, Aleister Black shows up, but I don't think it's tonight on Raw. It'll be on SmackDown.
Aren't they putting out like video packages for him on SmackDown right now?
Yeah.
And then they do the package and they show Zelina Vega right afterwards.
If Rusev is to show up tonight, he's going to be on Raw. Have that happen tonight.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of anybody else. People were thinking Jeff Cobb. People were thinking Tetsuya Naito. I'm just like, you have to wait and see.
Yeah.
So I don't see Cobb happening yet. I see Cobb happening again, just because like Pun said the other day, you can't do it because you can't put all the Samoans always together. But it would make sense that now you're gonna eventually turn Solo on Fatu, and Solo's gonna need a heater, and Cobb's gonna be that guy, and that's how you bring Jeff Cobb into the mix.
Somebody put up a post of Jeff Cobb side by side with Bronson Reed to put them as a tag team. I said that would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Bronson Reed's still out for a while, though, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this question before we wrap this up. How do you think John Cena is going to ruin wrestling tonight? If you had to wager a guess. Like, what does he mean by that?
I think he's
being the champion and not showing up.
Yeah, that'd be the smartest play.
Yeah. He's going to say I'm the champion now, and I'm going to go home, and I'm going to show up when I want to.
Yeah, the gimmick that I told him that I said that he should have done years ago.
Basically what the Tribal Chief gimmick turned into.
Yeah.
I 100% give you that credit because I was there.
I said that was a money gimmick over a decade ago.
I mean, granted, if I'm correct, when we were sitting that night, you also said about you and I having a match of throwing each other out of helicopters and stuff. But I do believe
drivers on the bed of nails.
But I do believe you also said about the Tribal Chief gimmick just for John Cena.
Yeah, man. And anyway,
a lot of comments though.
Let's get through comments and then we'll wrap it up, babe. Yeah, you can start putting them.
Hey, I got one more thing, guys. I got one more thing.
Okay.
Apparently, the roast last night. Did not go well.
Really? Boy.
So allegedly, a lot of things were said that a lot of people didn't like. They said Paul Heyman did exactly what you're supposed to do at a roast, and everyone got a good laugh. Surprisingly enough, they said Nia Jax was actually quite comical at times.
Oh, so the wrestlers were doing jokes.
Yeah, Sami Zayn went up there. They said Sami Zayn was pretty good, but they would cut to one Linda McMahon's face at times, and she wasn't happy about it. Triple H showed up at the end. He made some jokes about himself and other people. He some jokes about the infamous now kiss seen around the world.
He kissed Sean.
Which, by the way, come on, we've all kissed one of our friends. All right,
Jesus Christ.
No one's gonna admit it.
But the big thing coming out of it was you'll probably
I've kissed
never
lady
see,
friends. I
Means no.
you'll never see the actual video of this show.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
I noticed it because they kept saying the roast of WrestleMania, and it was the only thing in the lineup that didn't have where it was going to be playing.
That's
Like,
wild.
and I was like, well, they don't want no one to see this because they
Mhm.
know that it's going to get, very like it's a roast.
People
Like,
aren't prepared when you hear
Yeah,
roast.
and they don't want nobody to see
Yeah.
that shit. I'm not surprised. I'm not
So.
surprised at all. I'm
All right,
shocked.
the
That they did that. I'm
comments-
shocked that they did that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm shocked that wasn't even a thing that they offered to do. And it's good that, like, I mean, listen,
Well, they
Triple H.
probably didn't think that anyone had real problems.
Well, no, it's not about real problems.
Or
It's
real-
about when someone sits up on a stage and then looks at you and then literally just starts saying all the things that you think in your head that you don't want to say out loud. And some guy is saying it. And while he's saying it, he's got a crowd of people laughing at you. You know,
Roast is
you got to have a thick skin to stand
know,
up on that
why
thing
I
and take
thought
that
people
kind of
don't.
stuff. If you don't have it, and newsflash, a lot of pro wrestlers don't have the thick
No, I
skin.
know.
They can't take that kind of a critique or
Most
jokes.
people can't. Yeah.
Yeah, so I knew that was doomed to fail when I saw that they announced it and they had Tony Hinchcliffe
Yep.
on. I'm like, this guy, even when he was on Raw and he was trying to be funny and it wasn't working, it was falling flat. I was just thinking in my head, like,
Yeah.
you went out and you got the guy who does the roast stuff, great, but wrestlers aren't like that. They're not built like comedians. They don't have thick
Mhm.
skin. They don't. They
Mhm.
take things very personally, and they're like actors, man. They're very soft. I hate to say
Yeah.
it like that, but they don't like being
They are
critiqued, man.
actors,
What's the next one, babe?
Rough shot.
Yeah, my only beef with that match, the decision, let Travis Scott. Listen, Greco said the same thing. Like, I don't understand why Travis Scott got when his theme hit, when the song hit. I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I was expecting him to come halfway, rock
then the
rock behind
Yeah.
as a surprise. That's what I was expecting.
Or
This guy-
what I said to you guys, I would have had Seth.
Something. This guy continues to walk to the ring with a hardcore belt that he didn't. I don't know. I
Why is he wearing that?
guess in the WWE now, all you got to do is show up with a belt, and apparently you're a champion.
It sounds like the same way that people just wear.
Yeah, it's a
Indian
fucking. I
American
could have showed up there with 3 belts. I'm like, yeah, I'm the NWA champion, AEW, and TNA. Who's gonna take it from me? Like, I don't know. Like, it was so dumb.
That's not a fact. That when people wear Native American headdresses, yeah, like
Okay.
this.
earn every
Like
belt.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Earn
that.
the-
But Malik, will you ever show up to an event wearing that title?
No,
And
'Cause then I'll
why?
have
What is
to
the
do-
rule?
'cause-
What is the
because
rule?
then I'll have to defend it, and I don't want to.
I'll have to.
So, like, he comes walking to the ring. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
And then the whole shit in the ring, I don't know. It was just
Right?
dog shit with him. He had no business being a part of it. Yes, we did. I'm very happy because I like Killer Cross and I want him to succeed. And I think that that was the catalyst for the push that he's going to get soon. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch just got a new member. I assume that was when Malik was showing off all his John Cena gear. I think that's what it was. Does Finley still work with development and training up there up at coming? I don't think Finley does. Does Finley still work?
Yeah,
He
Vince-
might.
He still
I think
does?
he's still down in NXT. Yeah, I think he works with Sean.
Okay, yeah, so he's still at the developmental, Tristan.
Mhm.
All commercials shouldn't stop at once to come from current wrestlers work hard on their image. Oh, so you're saying stop putting them in that cosplay bullshit and sending them out there
There's such a big billboard
to
That's
promote
why
stuff.
they do it.
I will say this. I don't know if you guys noticed this with Drew McIntyre when he came out. He looked like he was going to take the shield off the thing and didn't realize that it
He
was
could've
just a
tried.
big sculpture and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So he's like, I guess I'll stand next to it.
Yeah.
He Captain Morgan did.
I also feel like the gear was a little bit of a letdown at times this year.
Yeah,
Like-
I didn't have a
Like
WrestleMania.
certain people, I thought like Jade. I love Jade. I think she's incredible. I thought Jade looked great. I thought Seth, the white gear he went back to, that was good. I like Punk doing the call back to the yellow. Even Roman throwing in the white sneakers and gloves.
Yeah.
But like I feel like WrestleMania is supposed to be special. Like it should be something
Oh yeah,
different.
my wife was a big fan of Cody Rhodes' outfit. I like the little Iron Man helmet.
Pun loved that. Oh, that was sick.
Yeah, that was cool. I get it, dude. They're all nerds. They're all comic book nerds. They're video game nerds. So like a lot of them, maybe not so much Drew McIntyre, but a lot of them, maybe like the War Raiders, they were cool with dressing up, But like I don't like Rough Shot said, the commercialism
Yeah.
of it. where now everybody's got to wear something because we're doing a theme and it's sponsored. I was cool with the big WWE logo, maybe like the Prime logo, but all this shit now in the ring, it's getting a little fucking crazy to me.
It's very WCW Halloween Havoc-ish.
Yes, so 10-10-3-2-1. Sponsored by 10-10-3-2-1. It would be the big fucking thing in the ring, right? I'm fine with a few, but the turnbuckle pads have Prime logos. This fucking logo, it's like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Major League 2 when Roger Dorn ran out of money and he just started renting out the arena, the stadium.
Oh, if you need a good chiropractor, you can look out to left center. And
Exactly. If you need a good fucking look right down here with the ramp. You know, you need your grass cut right here on the turnbuckle pad. Call Harold's fucking lawn care. Like I was just like, what the fuck is going on with all of these ads on the goddamn ring?
Harold's fucking lawn care is killing it right now.
Tom and Nick, yes, I agree. Upshot. That's exactly.
Who's Tom and Nick?
Exactly. That's what R-Truth calls Dominik Mysterio. He says that there's two of them. Tom and Nick.
That's funny. Okay. Yeah, I was surprised when I first saw Paul in the ring. I have to admit, for a douche, he's a good wrestler.
He's called Paul Heyman a douche?
No, Logan Paul.
No, Logan Paul.
Like what?
Man, Logan Paul. Logan Paul is, and here's the thing too. Heyman had that ECW smile that he was staring at Seth Rollins. He has different looks, you know. And now it's evil Paul Heyman again because now he's just like that. He had that fucking dumb smile open. I was like, oh boy, he's got that. When he turned on Brock Lesnar, it was just staring at Big Show like he wanted to eat him. Like he's got that stare on Seth Rollins. I kind of feel like the Daniel Bryan interview. Oh, the Karrion Kross, yes, it was very much along those lines. Yeah. Oh, the Miz, you can't stand him. He's not bad in the ring, the Miz.
He's not. Another guy that's been there 20 years, more than that.
He's going to surpass the Undertaker. They said Undertaker's done 19 consistently. He's going to do 20. Yeah. I recently finished watching the latest WWE Legends documentary series. ECW Paul Heyman, Ted DiBiase, and the Steiners got only a 40-minute episode.
Oh.
The Miz gets an hour and a half. Well, here's the thing. Paul Heyman should have gotten at least 2 hours, but it's very hard to. Because what are you going to do for the first hour? Talk about how bad of a businessman Paul Heyman was?
But also Paul Heyman had a full DVD.
Then Bryce a full VCW. Yes.
Yeah. And that's
some of the documentaries that they do. When they do certain documentaries 2, 3, 4 times over, you're just like, what information you can tell me that I don't already know?
I'm going to tell you, I appreciated the new WrestleMania 9 DVD or the documentary.
Yeah,
that was fun. That was a good watch.
It's good. There's a lot of stuff you didn't know and a lot of backstage stuff, and you gotta love the Hogan Savage thing.
Oh, well, I didn't see that.
Well, that was the selling point for people to watch it.
Yes, because basically Hogan says that he got hit with a jet ski a couple of days before Mania, and that's what messed up his face. Meanwhile, Brutus Barber Beefcake had his face rearranged, but Hogan gets hit with a jet ski and he only gets a black eye.
I know. Yeah.
You would think they stay the fuck out the water.
Yeah, that's what Punk said, exactly. And also, the way you could tell the truth behind that story is by one person, that's The Undertaker. Because Undertaker says, my brother should have dipped instead of dodging. And right there, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Didn't you disagree with this?
What's this now? Jay celebrated a little too hard, but he deserves it.
You said something about, like, I don't know. Or it was the opposite, that he was like, it was not a big deal. I don't know. You said something about Jey Uso.
It just felt like it felt flat. And the celebration, I just didn't feel like it meant anything. Like, even when he
think he did too much for what he did?
Not even that. It was just like, it was just like, I don't know. I mean, he was celebrating. But like, that's the thing too. His brother was beat to a bloody pulp and then just kind of shows up at the end and is just in the ring. It was just disappointing. It was disappointing on all facets.
Oh, the Rough Shot just had a funny thing about, you were talking about all the ads in the ring.
Stole the idea from LSW. Yeah, I've created a virtual wrestling promotion. Before we get out of here, I'll put it over. And it's doing pretty good. It's doing pretty well. It's pretty good. I'll say this: it's better than AEW.
Yeah, obviously.
It's more than AEW.
We were better than AEW.
I got fucking people. I got people virtually cutting promos that are better than AEW guys. It's crazy.
And also, just not to not mention it, NXT Stand and Deliver. Okay, show. I thought the tag title match stole the show.
Okay.
Everything else was just good.
Yeah, that was funny that he just did that comment where Nick Khan went up to the lady that almost got hit by Austin, said his name was Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Here's all my information. You can find Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Tony Khan. I see that Nick Khan, he's very open to talking about like AEW and shit. Like somebody asked him a question and he was talking about like how Cody Rhodes was, I don't want to say mistreated, but like how like they were like all of a sudden like, you know, he was this and this and then he wasn't. That's when we decided to call him. We worked out a deal and he came right back home where he belongs. And he was basically like, we don't sign people and make them sit. Like it was
what
just,
you
was
learn in the WrestleMania 9 DVD. Nick Khan actually worked the WrestleMania 9 event.
Oh wow, really?
He was like an usher.
So he's always been attached to WWE, I guess.
I don't know if he was working with WWE or if he was with Caesars at the time, but yeah, he's always like, it's like he's always been there. Yeah,
that's crazy to see what WWF is now.
You see that?
Fucking A. Randy
beats him in Boston in December. I don't hate that.
I'm not against that neither, but I just think it's going to be Cody. Cody's going to get the receipt. I don't think Randy needs it. I really don't. Randy's coming to the end of his rope.
Again, though, it depends on storytelling because now if Randy's the one that beat him and Cody needs to win the title back, do we then get the Cody heel turn next year?
That could be it too. Maybe he gets mad because he couldn't get the job done where Randy or somebody else did get the job done, and he holds some resentment, and that leads to his heel turn.
Yeah, and you always think Orton's the one that's going to turn on someone.
I listen, rough shot. If Orton is the next guy in line to fight Cena for a few months, I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. Because they never disappoint. Tony Khan has the potential to do the prettiest thing in putting the AEW title on record.
I said that last night to Pun.
Nico Khanis, if that happens, first off, Ric Flair, the last time Ric Flair wrestled, he almost died. He could not. I mean, he was literally on the floor, dead. I don't care what everybody fucking says. He was dead at one point. All right? All right? So if he gets in the ring again, there is no... Okay, how is it believable? This guy takes a suplex onto a thing of nails, gets right up, right? They yank it out of his back. He comes back the next week. He's fighting again. You think he's going to lose to an 85-year-old man? Like, no, he's going to beat the shit out of Ric Flair and leave him laying. And if he loses, then, and again, whatever credibility, and I know it's little, but whatever credibility Jon Moxley has would eventually then just be completely gone because he lost to an 85-year-old man. So I don't think that's a smart play. I just don't think that is petty. And Tony Khan's a moron. But if Tony Khan is truly petty, he'll just have Kenny Omega lose and win the belt a bunch of times. And then just make Kenny Omega an 18-time champion. And that's it. Maybe The Rock gets jealous. Well, that's an interesting take on it. But why would The Rock get jealous when he was the one who convinced Cena to do what he did? Paul was talking about not Seth. Okay. All right. Thank you, Pun.
Something had to happen with Rock that it has to be movie wise or something that he wasn't there last night.
Yeah, I was like, you couldn't take a day off for WrestleMania, even if it was a movie. Like it's crazy.
You're in charge of this part of TKO. I would assume that you would have been a part of the biggest event of the company.
But doesn't him being there prove that it wasn't that big of a deal?
That's why I'm saying. That's why it felt like it didn't have like this WrestleMania feel because it didn't have like this. Like it was a cool little story. I guess they thought that Cena and Cody was enough. They didn't need The Rock to sweeten the pot. But I think The Rock. I think it needed The Rock. Honestly, I really do. I think The Rock needed to be a part of it.
Something was missing, and to have Travis Scott just walking down the ring was not it for me.
No. I mean, listen, we finally got Austin back at WrestleMania, but it wasn't in the. Like I said, I was expecting like what happened last year. Someone out to try to help Cena win, and then Austin shows up. But they were probably like, Austin, you got to go out now. You're too drunk. You can't. You're not big out there. But and I was like, what?
And maybe, and before we wrap it up, maybe my calculations are a little off, and your wife can gladly correct me. I believe if you want to include or not include the women's tag title match, because we all had Liv and Raquel, not knowing.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
Yeah, we all picked.
Okay, but if with that match, I believe we all went 8-5.
Oh wow, look at that! Pretty good, huh? I'll take those odds.
Oh, I can't do that math right now.
If you take the women's
word for it.
Yeah.
I didn't include Orton, and it depends on what you want to do with the women's match.
Leave them out.
Okay. If you take
I'll accept everything you just said, so that we're all 8-5. Nobody wins.
Yeah.
Nobody wins.
I'll accept the schmaz. All right.
The next,
all right, Tony.
the next PLE. The next PLE. That's
Next
we'll do that
PLE.
again.
One more.
All right, there's 4 more comments. Let's just get to those right quick. At the end of the day, wrestling in general has made amazing improvements since the 70s and 80s. We just want to make it as great as possible. Absolutely, bud. But you know, sometimes you got to like get through some rocky times to get to the good times. So there's going to be some shitty WrestleManias, but I'm sure this isn't going to be like
It
it ain't
wasn't
gonna
that shitty.
bring back the spinner belt. I said that yesterday. I said if he comes walking out tomorrow like this, just spinning that shit down in the ring,
What is
I'd
it
left
called? Fidget toy.
he had the belt.
Fidget toy.
John Cena had a belt back.
I know that's fun.
Yeah, it's spun. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does something stupid like that. But this crowd is so dumb; they just cheer for it.
Yeah.
I expect we read this one. I don't think that'll happen, but Charlotte stealing Stephanie's move got a good boot.
Not true.
Here's the problem.
Not true.
Charlotte did it before Stephanie back here. The difference is we know the reason why everybody's cheering for Stephanie than they would for Charlotte.
Agreed.
Rock gets jealous because the fans still like Cena. The Rock's like, Cody Rhodes, I wanted you to be my champion so people would like me.
And all you did was the opposite.
Yeah. And instead, they still hate me.
That was it.
Oh, my God. All right, that's it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us on Spot Monkey Radio. We appreciate you. The spinner belt will be motorized. That's okay, too. I'd be okay with that. Just like a constantly spinning WWE.
Constantly going.
Yeah,
It's
just constantly spinning,
solar
right?
powered.
He comes out with the Bailey's fucking tube men. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Catch Spot Monkey Radio every Monday, 10:30 a.m. right here on False Finish Productions. If you like pro wrestling, if you like video games, if you like WWE 2K, I got the Legends Series Wrestling Alliance, the LSWA, happening every Monday. You get Monday Night Raw and you get Nitro on Legend Series YouTube on the members only. If you want to join the ranks, if you want to be a part of the roster, you have to join the membership, and I will put you on. We have up to 50 members, so the roster is growing every day. So I appreciate you guys. Last week, it was a Saturday, I did a show. Mad people were watching before WrestleMania, so I appreciate everybody watching live and all that good stuff. Thank you so much, Tristan. We appreciate you. Like I said, come back every Monday, 10:30, where we discuss the wacky world of pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling.
That is it for us. That's going to do it. That's Greco. I am Tony, and that is Malik. This has been Spot Monkey Radio. Until next
What
time.
about me?
Oh, yeah, that's right. And
What the fuck, bro?
my lovely wife.
You forget me?
Wow.
I
Wow,
I know,
and
but
she
one
has
day-
a mic now.
have a mic now.
One day we give her a
I
mic.
was letting it go, but then I was like, he's gonna do it again, but I have a mic.
I love you so much.
Oh. Now I don't feel so bad about complaining about not being in the open. You didn't even mention
No.
your wife at the end of the show. You're a selfish dick,
I
Tony.
should be opening too.
Yeah.
She should be in it too. Exactly.
For Dominique, for Greco, for Malik, and myself, this has been Spot Monkey Radio, guys. Till next Monday. Take it easy.